Happy Friday, everybody. This is your favorite crypto trading show, Crypto and Coffee with the Trading Bros. I'm your host, Clutch Crypto. B. Wellington's over here on the other screen. Give him a little break this morning. He had a rough night, man. You can tell that he's really struggling with a hangover this morning. But let's talk about yesterday's show. We did call that pullback, and man, did they pull back. So now it's a matter of it should go up. We should start breaking some new levels and head up. But there's one thing that we need to remember that's still on the books for today. There's a CME gap at 1,300. Now, hey, that's a $200 move, and that takes out all of those longs that just got on board earlier this week. So let's jump to the charts and see, do we actually think we're going to go up and break a new level today? Are we going to range, or are we going to see a really nice catastrophic drop happen a little later today? B. Wellington, how are you?
I suck, but
I know you're struggling a little bit.
I'm dealing with it. Look here, so here we are on the 8 hour. Just wanted to show that because this is a retrace back into the CMA, right? And so, one of the reasons why we think we're going to go back up is because normally they come back retrace. I mean, really into the 200, but this EMA here, the red EMA, I think that's 13, is on the 8 hour, pretty significant EMA. So if we go on the hourly like we normally do, we've got the 50 right here. As you can see, we've moved down into that 50. We've got kind of a return back to this vector. And so I would imagine that we go back up and test these areas, like up into this 1561 area, and probably hang out there. And if we don't break this 1561 area, I would imagine that, as you mentioned, we're going to head back down into this area. So we've talked about this before. This 1310 is kind of where everything came off of, but you even have this 1358, which is another area in which they come back. They like to double tap, so it probably won't be a direct. I mean, this was a direct move up, and we'll probably just inch our way, right, and kind of down into this area eventually. But I don't really see us breaking into this area unless we get a bunch of liquidity that comes on board, which is possible, into this area that will then push us back up. But this zone has been handling things pretty well. And if we were to move up, we've got another peak probably in this 1664 area. But I mean, honestly, I really don't see it, even though it could happen. But just there, this area in here, you can see these low volume nodes just looks like they're going to suck right back into that area eventually.
So do you feel like this wants to go back up today?
Yeah, because I mean, we're on the hourly. I mean, we got back onto the, if we go back to the hourly this week, we've come back into the 50 EMA, right? And so it would make sense for them to come back and retest kind of that 1559 area. We're not that far from it. Obviously, you're going to trap a lot of breakout traders who have been rewarded lately. So you're going to start getting that trappy behavior up here. So we've had, a few vectors like up in this area. We didn't have a whole lot of follow through, on that. I would imagine that we might get a vector that kind of brings us back up into this area, and then you'll get some pops here and there with some volume that really doesn't go anywhere. And then we've got, the Fed meeting next week. We had PCE data that came out today that was basically flat, it's in line. So nothing to really get excited about from a market standpoint. But yeah, I think we head back up and test this area here before we come back down. But if we hang out here and you start seeing, some breakdown, especially getting into, past the 15, I would say the 1470s and 76s in that area, I'd be pretty careful about that. But let's take a look at things like open interest, which is we're down to 6.6 billion. So yesterday we're at 7 billion. So we've taken about, 0.4 billion off of the perpetual books, which is shows how many longs were out there on that run to the downside. Funding rates are pretty much mixed, but they're positive. Kind of overall, you've got Bybit that's negative on both sides. So they'll probably come and try to take out some of those. You got FTX as well as Binance, kind of mixed bag relative to positivity. So again, I think we start to head up. This is the Binance charts, or with OI specifically. So we've had OI that's starting to increase. So you've got some big boys that have kind of came back on board here. This may cause price to go up, take out some of those shorts that got on board. Market, is futures or NASDAQ is down, but we're pretty much flat. S&P, Dow Jones is a little bit, but I would call this relatively
Consumer
flat.
spending climbs again after. Hey, so people are continuing to spend more money?
Yeah, I mean
Wow.
the consumer is consumer is a big problem. Look at this, and jobs are good too. Crypto Exchange Finance was a big investor in Musk Twitter deal, so crypto is going to be involved in the Twitter now. Now that once uh, Elon closes that deal completely, he's already in the offices. I think I saw.
Oh yeah, man, he already fired the two top executives as soon as he took over. He's like, "You mother ain't working here no more." So,
Yes, so there's probably going to be some crypto involved on that end, but key economic calendar wise, PCE coming in. I mean, these are in line, pretty much in line. So uh, I would say that kind of overall, that volatility is not there just yet. This is that consumer spending that went up, and then of course next week on Wednesday, I mean, we got a big day ADP report as well as FOMC. So, we may uh, look at this. Paul Pelosi violently assaulted in home break-in, uh, probably from all them stock picks he's done, all that
oh
insider
wow,
trading they're doing over there.
probably.
So yeah, so that's prediction for today. I think we move back up into this range and eventually come back down. We've got FOMC next week. And we've also, like you mentioned, got that CME down there. So this looks like a perfect setup to maybe hang out in this area for a while and then bring that down next week, maybe even ahead of the meetings. That's all I got on my end. What do you got on your end, Clutch? Let me,
Well, thank you for sharing.
I know, right? I'm on my last legs over here.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Okay, so here we have High Block Capital, and as you can see, we are starting to trail down. We're at 7.4 billion on the liquidation delta to the positive side, and just this time yesterday we were at 16 billion. So they're already doing a really good job of taking over half of what they had out on the market yesterday. So I do expect we are looking. We're still in pre-open market conditions right now, and we're seeing some movement to the upside pre-open. So and that we know that we've signified and started a reversal trend as far as this goes right now, and we have some pretty big liquidations up in. Let's see. Let me refresh this real quick, just to. Let's take 1 second. Do apologize for small delay. We are driving the Nebuchadnezzar, so it's pretty quick. Alright, so you guys should be able to see this. Okay, there we go. Cool. So, right up at 1527, 1557 are where we have those big short liquidations that have popped up. So we might get back up into that range, but I think we see a pre-market pump like we're seeing right now, and then a reversal and actually have movement to the downside. Let's slide over and look at our other favorite chart that we have, which is our book map. and see what Bookmap has for the show. So as you can see, we are moving up. Expect us to get up into this 1552 range, like I spoke about earlier. That's where that big liquidation is. Now, if we get past that, expect some more movement to the upside, and we'll probably back up into that 1600 area. However, if we do get a rejection there, go ahead and expect that. We're going to see some lower price happening later today. So that's what I have right now. If we break out past 1515 or 1550, go ahead and expect us to go 1600. If we get rejected, go ahead and expect that we're going to see some downside potential. And that CME gap at 1300 is still open. Will we get there? We'll find out a little later today. You guys stay frosty, be careful out there, and have a great weekend. And of course, go Astros. They're playing in the World Series later tonight. So that's all we have for today's show. And we will catch you Monday, same time, same place. Until next time.